$1,000. Why would anyone spend that much of their hard-earned money to go to a conference related to their field when they had time away from work? That's how I used to look at going to conferences. And then some of my colleagues encouraged me to go and look at it as an investment in myself and my career. And what I found is that it truly is. If you're also skeptical but want to learn more about whether going to conferences may be a good investment for you, I encourage you to stay tuned. I'm going to talk to you about the benefits that I've found, the ways that I've learned to prepare, and some general tips that I've learned along the way. I'm Marisa Rueda-Will, a certified healthcare interpreter for Spanish and licensed interpreter trainer. I'm also the founder of TICA Interpreter Training and Translations. Over the last 15 years, I've worked with colleagues from multiple language pairs and skill levels. I'm here today to tell you that if you want to become an interpreter, or if you are an interpreter who wants to advance their career, you can do it. All you have to do is take the first step. Stay tuned for the rest of this video to learn some helpful hints that may just get you where you want to go. Without further ado, welcome to this TICA Interpreter Training and Translations presentation. Conferences Count: Why attending interpreter conferences will boost your career. Some of the benefits of attending conferences include things like networking, visibility, and support. What I mean by that is getting to know people, letting people see you, and then finding a way to connect with these people during and after the event to mutually support each other in the field. There are a variety of interpreting conferences. There are interpreting conferences for legal interpreters, such as the NAJIT or NAJIT, still not sure how to pronounce that, conference that's held on a yearly basis. One of the biggest ones that I've ever attended is the American Translators Association that also has an interpreters division. So even if you're an interpreter, you're more than welcome to attend and it will be of great benefit to you. If you're a healthcare interpreter, there are also several healthcare interpreting conferences throughout the year. IMAIA holds one, CHIA, or the California Healthcare Interpreting Association, also has a yearly conference, and the NCIHC has an annual membership meeting that is rather large, where you'll get to know a lot of people. There are also other organizations if you're more into language access and fighting to make sure that interpreters have what they need to be able to support it in the profession. You might want to consider an organization like COPTIC, which I believe is out of California. Before you go to a conference, it's really important for you to reflect on why you're going to the conference. Make sure to set some goals. What do you want to get out of that experience? Are you looking to vet potential employers or clients? Are you wanting to get out in the field and meet people that you've admired and you want to learn from them and figure out how they got where they are and how you can do the same? Are you simply there to learn, get some continuing education credits, and figure out the scene? Maybe you just started your own business and you want to let people know who you are, that they can trust you, and encourage them to do business with you. These are all goals that you want to think about and set ahead of time. I would recommend setting maybe 1 or 2 goals and then going from there. I know at a recent conference I attended, one of my goals was to meet a podcaster that I really admire, Mireya Perez, and she and I did connect after one of her sessions, and I got to know her a little bit and reached out to her afterwards, and she ended up interviewing me for her podcast. So that connection was really worth it, and she was just such a wonderful person. I'm so glad that I got to know her. That brings me to the next point. So before you go to these conferences, first of all, research what type of conference it is. Try to find out who usually goes to this sort of conference. So who's going to be there? What are they going to be doing? Are some of the people that you want to meet going to be giving presentations? Are they going to be at a booth? Will you be able to stop by and talk to them? How are you going to connect with them? And then how are you going to represent yourself when you finally get that opportunity to meet one another? Think about questions like, who am I? What do I represent? What do I want? Think about the answers to those questions so that you can answer confidently and let people know who you are in the 1 to 2 minutes that you'll have for them to get to know you. Remember, image matters. Some might say that's an unfortunate part of our society or any culture, but it's the truth. What people see is going to be their first impression of you. So if you're going to a conference, make sure that you have your business cards. Even if you don't have your own business, you're going to want a card with you that has your name, the company that you work for, or just some contact information, because there will more than likely be networking opportunities where you can hand these cards out to colleagues. And you're going to want to connect with them later. So make sure to give them your card and get their card in exchange. Also, make sure to dress professionally. You don't have to dress like you're going to a wedding, but you also don't want to show up in a t-shirt and jeans, because that's not going to send the image that you're a professional who's there to make connections and build their career. When you do meet someone, make sure that you go up, you have a good connection, shake hands if that's culturally appropriate, and introduce yourself with your name, who you are, where you're from. This will make it more likely that they will remember you when the conference is over and be more likely to contact you or accept your friend request. Take advantage of the moments in a conference that are outside of the sessions. There are many wonderful educational opportunities at conferences, but really the most valuable part of a conference is connecting with people. Sitting down next to someone, having a cup of coffee, connecting with someone in a hallway. If you recognize them from something, just take a moment to, appreciate them for their work and find some commonalities. It's going to benefit you in the future if you ever need to reach out to them, just so they remember who you are. And when you are in the sessions, make sure that you're listening. Take it all in, take in not only what the topic is about, but how the topic is presented, the people who are next to you. Before and after the session, take a moment to get to know your neighbor and chat with them for a few minutes afterwards. Make sure to be entirely engaged, and afterwards you can connect with the speaker, if not right away, a little later on, and just thank them for taking the time to give that presentation. Depending on the conference you go to, speakers are more than likely volunteering their time to be there and present. So for them, it's an opportunity to be able to talk about a subject that's dear to them, but they're also there, to show their skills and promote what they're about. So they would appreciate from you as well if you would just take a moment to stop by and let them know what you learned from them. After you get home from a conference, I want you to think about what you can do with that momentum. First of all, take all of the business cards that you've collected, find the people that you can on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media sites, Facebook, wherever they told you that they're at. Make sure to go. If you're on those sites, connect with them right away. If you really got a good feeling about them and feel like there's possibilities for collaboration in the future, write them a personal message or email them. Check out their websites. Make sure that people know where your website is. So before the conference, make sure to have your website up and running. If you don't have a website, when you get home, make it a priority to get that done. And then reflect on the goals that you had. What were your goals? For instance, I mentioned one of my goals at a previous conference was to meet a podcaster that I really admired. After I got home from the conference, I made sure to connect with her right away on social media and stay in touch. And eventually we got to know each other well enough that she wanted to interview me and learn more. And that was a really great opportunity for me and my business. And then you want to set future goals as well. Coming out of that conference, I realized one of my passions is presenting. So I made a goal for the next conference to submit an abstract and see if I could get it accepted to be able to present. And sure enough, I was fortunate to have an abstract submitted to the California Healthcare Interpreter Association event, or CHIA, this last May. That I was able to present, and it went really well. And not only did I get the experience presenting, did I get, some great feedback? Did I make some connections about hopefully doing future education? But I also got a discount. But I also got a discount for the event itself. So that's another perk. And so I'm setting my future goals now for conferences and really thinking about, what people do I want to connect with and making plans for the future. Maybe one of your goals is you're trying to find a new VRI or OPI company to work for because you aren't a huge fan of your current environment. Well, that's definitely something that you can do. A lot of the big names like LanguageLine and Marty and the HCIN are at these events, along with many others. If you're a translator, there are tons of translation vendors there as well. It's a great way to kind of get a feel for the culture of the company, just stopping by the tables and meeting people. And you can also give them your card and let them know that you're interested in work. You can ask them how to apply for the job that you want and how you can go about leaving a good first impression. So this is always good to show you're taking initiative, you're out in the field, you're a career interpreter or translator who's interested in continuing education and self-improvement. Self-improvement and professional growth is what I'm all about here at TICA Interpreter Training and Translations. Please reach out to me on one of my many social media outlets or visit my website. I would love to hear from you. You can also subscribe and leave any comments for me so I can make sure to tailor this for your needs in the future. Have a great day, and I hope to see you next time.